Alright, it's Devlog Thursday. So the first thing you may notice is that the UI looks a little bit different, and that's because the canvas resolution is smaller. It used to be 400 pixels by 225 pixels, but I have reduced it to 341 by 192. And that's because there used to be a lot of screen space that just wasn't used and was really empty, and so I needed to change that, and the decision I made was to reduce it. And the resolution that I chose was chosen because when scaled up exactly 4 times, it fits the desktop resolution perfectly. So if I go over to that, which is 1366 by 768, you can see that it fits it perfectly. And with an HD desktop, though, which is 1920 by 1080 or 1080p, there's some letterboxing around it, which I'm thinking I'm probably going to have an alternate UI layout for HD, but that'll come later. But anyway, so the other thing is that there's bacon now, and also a menu, and the burger that I was making in the previous episode is the first item on the menu, and I'm calling it the flagship burger right now, because usually restaurants like a fast food restaurant would have a flagship burger, like from McDonald's. It's like probably like the Big Mac, I guess. And for Burger King, it's like the Whopper. Yeah, stuff like that. And so yeah, whatever my restaurant's going to be called is what's going to replace the word flagship, but I don't know what it's called yet, so it's just the flagship burger. And then there's the barbecue bacon sandwich, burger. Sorry. I'm getting it confused with the third item on the menu, which is the BLT, which was originally just the bacon sandwich until I added lettuce and tomato and realized, hey, that's a BLT. Anyway, the reason that I was actually doing just a sandwich in the first place is because I was wondering, well, what happens if you have a menu item that has no patties? And you make it perfectly even though there are no patties, and I did, and I got a 100%. And I'm like, how does that work? And I realized it was because the doneness score was infinity. Because of the way the calculations work, if there's no patties, you get a score of infinity. Not entirely sure still how that works, but it's probably just something that I forgot or am overlooking. It's probably really obvious if I were to look at the code. But anyway, and since nothing can possibly be, or since infinity can't possibly be less than anything else, and it always takes the minimum, that score of infinity for doneness is basically disregarded. And so the next change I decided to make was to make it to where a score of infinity would be replaced with not applicable. So if you get an infinity doneness score, it gets replaced by not applicable. So if I go ahead and make this BLT, which has got mayo, bacon, lettuce, tomato, and bun. Usually when I would place every time I would place the bun last time, it would bring up a little debug log with the dine score results. And I changed that because that's not how it's going to be in the final game. But I did add a dine menu, which we'll see after I hover over this ticket for this order, and I click this check mark, which says, okay, the thing I've just made is for that ticket. Then I get my dine score right next to the ticket, and you can see it's pretty empty because it's just a standard number 3 BLT, and there's no modification specified to it, and I don't know what else to put on the ticket yet. But anyway, yeah, the doneness score was not applicable because, well, they didn't order patties. And, everything else is 100%. So I got an S score. So I can click OK, and it clears that burger, or sandwich, actually. And you may also notice a little X right there, so if I accidentally mess up, like, oops, I accidentally placed bacon first, I can go ahead and just click X, and it clears that burger/sandwich for me. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the sandwiches. I might, like, just for fun, maybe. One of them could be, like, a grilled cheese sandwich where you just literally do that. Like, wouldn't that be funny? Just because I'm curious. I'm pretty sure I'd get, like, a 0 score or a 50. Either a 0 or a 50 is what I'm guessing. Okay, 0. Okay, yeah. Man, that's a pretty terrible BLT. But anyway, that's not all I've gotten done this week. I was also working on another project, so I'll go ahead and show you that. I'll just switch over to the appropriate Unity project, which is already open. I'll click play. You can see right here, it's an XE2020 emulator. So if you've seen my Logisim videos, you'll know that I made a 16-bit CPU called the XE2020B. And I decided to make an emulator for it because, for one, I thought, hey, that'd be a pretty cool project. And for two, I thought, well, it might actually end up being faster than the one in Logisim if I really wanted it to. And it definitely could, but I'm not running it at those speeds yet because, well, for one, I kind of want to be able to see what all is going on now that I can actually see all the internals just right here. And also because the emulator doesn't completely work yet. So if I go ahead and press 1, it's already got the tic-tac-toe ROM installed. I'll press 1. And wait, is it not in focus? Okay, it was not in focus. If I press 1, then it does the normal boot up, and then it brings up tic-tac-toe. And since I pressed 1, then it went to the keyboard buffer. It put that in there, so I need to press backspace. And then top left, which is where I always place my first X, just for some reason. I don't know, I guess it's some compulsive thing. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. You can see that it seems to be correctly emulating it so far. But there's a problem. As I was testing it, I noticed that the algorithm to detect wins doesn't work whatsoever. And I thought, well, that's strange. But even in the current game, on the actual XE2020B, there are some problems with the algorithm. It'll say that, like, I think it was player 2 will win in certain cases where player 2 will definitely not win. But the point of the emulator is to get it to behave exactly like the real thing, bugs and all, but we don't want there to be more bugs than there actually are, because that means the emulator doesn't work. And this was just something that I just went ahead and got started. I'm not going to continue working on it for probably a while, or I may revisit it like every once in a while for just like a day or so. What do you want? Hold on, I think my dog wants out. What do you want? Okay, I'm back. What was I talking about? I was talking about the emulator. And I said it doesn't work. Oh yeah, I'll probably be working on this, or I might be working on this just like on and off a little bit, but my main focus is, of course, this other game over here. So this is what I'm going to be working on the most. And yeah, I'm devoting my full attention to it because I'm hoping to make a lot more progress in the next week, and including stuff like, well, getting the tickets to work, getting a lot more core gameplay implemented, and maybe even some sounds, like grilling sounds, and maybe even some music, which I do actually have some music for it already. I've got a title theme and a work in progress, like, in-game theme. I might have more than one theme play in-game, like, kind of like a radio kind of, where it's just like shuffles between random tracks. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. But anyway, that's all I have for this episode. Thanks for watching, and bye.